Last time, after defeating Big Bomb and Whole Cake Island, Saji finally reunited with the Straw Hats, and as they make it their way towards Wano. But what they don't know is an old enemy of the Avengers named Red Skull has appeared, and he's teaming up with Akainu. The question is, what are they up to? And who is this Winter Soldier they speak of? Hi, my name's Second Fed in Kentucky.
I'm Venus Diaz.
Yeah, welcome to another Naruto One Piece crossover. We're this will probably be the last one in a while before we go to Wano. When I believe we'll reach part 2 or part 1 of Wano, we'll get there. Okay.
All right.
But for now, we'll stick with the Winter Soldier arc, and you could say it's kind of like a movie, like a One Piece movie of some sort, but it's not.
Okay.
It's canon. It's canon to this story. Every Marvel thing happening is canon. Because here's how we started. We start with, I believe Steve met up with Naruto after finding out about the Winter Soldier, and Stephen Strange says, I got some more bad news. What's that, Steve? Akainu is team up with one of the most notorious villains of our time. You might know him, Stephen.
Captain.
Or Captain. Yeah. His name is Red Skull. Red Skull is alive?
He disappeared from whenever he went to after the Tesseract took him somewhere before I got frozen.
Yeah, well, Schmidt came to this planet called Horag, and then he discovers that the One Piece is real, and somehow, some way, he came here and met up with the world government a few years ago. He is partnered with Akainu, and hearing that name made Luffy snarl. That's one villain he hates more than anything. Akainu. And
yeah, he did kill his brother.
Yep. And they recruited, and they've been making super soldiers ever since he came back. Some from the government and some from from our world.
But they're not like Naruto. They're not like Steve, right? And unfortunately, no. There's something really special about him. He's the only success. The others turn into like freakish monsters.
They call him the Winter Soldier. And Natasha told the story of how she knows about the Winter Soldier. She was on a mission a few years ago. And she was extorting a nuclear engineer out of Iran, and somebody shot her tires, and she lost control. But the Winter Soldier was there, and he shot straight through her, trying to protect the engineer, and she said, "Bye, bye, bikinis." And then Sanji said, "I don't care. You still look gorgeous." And Naruto side and punches him and said, "This is serious, Sanji.
You're hopeless, man."
And Natasha continued her story. he's like a ghost. And she said, going after him is a dead end. I know I tried. It's like a ghost story. Well, let's go find out what the ghost wants, says Naruto. But in order to find him, we have to split up. Luffy, you, Cap, and I will go to the next town. Sanji, you go Brooke and Natasha. No, wait, no. You go with
Chopper can go with Sanji.
yeah, and you ladies stay behind. And Sheena, you stay with your mom, okay? I know you can.
You ain't Cloud.
You and Cloud. What about Dodger? Dodger's staying to guard the ship. Cause and where do we meet up? Do you have some transporter steals? Yeah. Well, here you go. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. And as Steve said, I'll take the other Avengers, and they'll go and they'll look out for the Winter Soldier as well, because he could be at their world too. Right. Thanks, Steve. And Naruto gave Sakura a kiss on the lips, and Luffy kissed Nami, and Sanji asked, why can't I be one of the? And Chopper point out, because you're a sick pervert. And Naruto breaks the fourth wall and said, oh yeah, we're back to the humiliating Sanji. Meanwhile, Red Skull was at the world government and said, so that so-called Straw Hat is looking for the One Piece, huh? And I see that his first mate is that foolish Uzumaki boy. Oh, why I remember his parents.
He's also foiled some of my plans those 3 years he was there.
Yes.
Even cost me. Is Zola gonna be in this, or will they find it? Or is he gonna be in his? They're gonna be in his brain from that one scene.
Yeah. But we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
And then he said, then he looked behind, and it was the Winter Soldier. Now I'm sure you're aware of Stephen Strange warning the Uzumaki and Straw Hat. The Winter Soldier said that you must find them and eliminate them, and Captain America. And he nodded. Now go get him. And he makes his. Then he's thinking about those women, those mates of theirs might be tough to beat too. What if he was thinking of a plan to how to kill Sakura, Nami, and the others, and Sheena. Meanwhile, and Naruto and Steve said, while they were walking, said, man, this brings back memories, Naruto, of those 3 years when you were one of the first to welcome me ever since I unfroze. We see a flashback when Naruto was in New York. He was eating some New York food, and he said, mind if I join you? And he said, please have a seat. You know, you look familiar. I've been training here for the past few years, and I've been learning about someone. Yeah? Like what? Well, about the history, World War II, about this lunatic named Hitler. And I thought my And I thought my world had twisted villains. But this guy is a psycho. Nothing compared to John Schmidt. And Steve said, "Oh yeah, I heard of him." Luckily, this guy named Steve
Yeah, he was
Rogers.
quite the character.
Yeah, and luckily, this guy named Steve Rogers saved the day from him. I learned, and although what we don't know what happened to Tesseract, but
He,
I've heard.
this Steve Rogers guy was a real hero.
Yeah, and he said, "Say, you look like. Wait a minute, are you? Yeah. Oh my God, you're Steve Rogers. It's a great honor. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. This is my. And
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
you're my second favorite captain. Second favorite? My first favorite is the captain I follow. He's my brother.
My brother, Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah. Mhm.
The future king of the pirates. King of the
Pirates?
pirates? Must
Yeah,
be different
yeah, but
from normal pirates.
Yep, he's not a pirate that kills and plunders and all that. He's just in it for the
He's more
adventure.
in it for the adventure and freedom.
And he said, and Cap said, "Freedom. I like that." And then he said, "Oh, I gotta show you these cool stuff happening in the 21st century." Then he said, "Are you okay?" Yeah, it's just I had a date,
I had a date.
and Naruto felt bad for him. I'm so sorry. Then more of the flashback. We see him watch they watch Star Wars together with. No, Naruto haven't watched Star Wars yet because he watched it with Tony. They watched Rocky together. Said Steve is a. I think in canon, Steve is a boxing fan. I know he's a baseball
I guess
fan.
he is.
I know he's a baseball fan. And said, "Oh yeah, how are the Dodgers? How are the Dodgers doing?" And said, "Oh, the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles a few years after you
Los
got
Angeles.
from." Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Now, New York team are the Mets or the Yankees?
he's a Mets fan. I doubt Chris Evans will play a Yankees fan. He's Red Sox.
He's a Boston guy.
Yeah, he is. And Naruto said, "Hey, not only look at Jackie Robinson.
Kind of reminds me of T'Challa.
Yeah, T'Challa. Oh, he's the king of Wakanda. I've been there a couple times.
He fought alongside his father in the war.
Yeah, you did?
I might have. It was a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Might have also fought alongside Wolverine too.
You know Logan?
Yeah, where is he? He's part of the X-Men now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those two actually did team up in like several pieces of media.
Yeah. Can you imagine the meeting in the Chris Evans meeting Hugh Jackman in a movie?
I mean, outside Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Evans' Cap.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. In fact, it's canon in this story.
Is it also canon that Wolverine saved Magneto during the war?
Yeah. I wonder if Wolverine regrets that.
I don't know. I mean, Magneto's like an on-off villain, but Magneto does respect Wolverine.
Yeah. And Steve asks, "Oh, does Disney still make movies?" "Oh, yeah." They're still
They
around.
were in a few ruts, but they're somewhat back together.
Yeah, of course, in this universe, they're not the evil. They're not the evil corporation they are now.
Sure. Well,
They're
back in
owned by
what
this.
2012, they were still good.
Yeah, in fact, they're owned by this guy. What's his name? His name is NS Fan. I don't know what that means, but he's a pretty cool guy. I'm talking about me. I just love doing meta humor.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the story, and we see Nick Fury. No, we're not gonna do he shot killed the Nick Fury thing because I don't think it would make sense. Do you?
No. Though you don't really. Though Fury doesn't really die in there.
I know. I'm still amazed on how he survived that. I know it's a comic book movie, but still. They make it to. So what do we do now? Asks Luffy. First, we gotta find. First, we gotta find the. What is the that he asks? I forgot. What are they after? Oops. Then Luffy, yes, that is, you mentioned it. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I, what they don't. Oh yeah, now I remember. Says Steve. Schmidt says he's after the One Piece. Really? Yes, he believes.
That's mine to find.
What?
Luffy would say, "That's mine to find."
Yeah, well, he's not gonna fight. So that's why he's trying to
Because
kill
we're
us.
gonna find it.
He wants to. That's why he wants to kill us. He wants us to prevent us to find the One Piece before he
You
does.
think he'd go after the others looking for, like, Teach and Big Mom.
But he sees us as a bigger threat. Not to mention, he doesn't want it in the hands of a good person.
Yeah, Naruto said, "Oh, we should feel so honored."
Yeah. Meanwhile, in another part of town, we see what the girls are doing. Of course, they're in different outfits in the skies. And well, while they were looking through the mall to search for the winter salt, Nami sees a dress that she wants, a wedding dress that she wants, and she clicked. Nami, don't you think you should? Sakura said. The Sakura was trying to snap her out of the dress. Then she saw it. And said, "Oh my God, Nami, you should wear that." And
What do you
Natasha's,
think, Sheena? Like, wow, Auntie, you look so pretty in that.
yeah. And Natasha says, "Come on, guys, we have no time. We gotta." I know, but we could just buy a wedding dress. I mean, it's not like the. It's not like we
The guy we're
see the winter.
looking for is gonna show up.
Yeah. What they don't know is they're being watched by the Winter Soldier. And then Nami was trying to buy the dress, and she haggles, and Sakura and Natasha asks, "Does she always do that?" I said, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she haggles."
she does.
And she gets and then she said, "Sheena, cover your eyes and close your eyes and cover your ears." And he does, and she beats up the clerk, and she buys the dress and says, "Oh my God, And she's like, do you think Luffy will like it?
Oh, he
Then,
will.
then Sheena, wait, since he
We got
has
company.
what?
We've got company.
Yeah,
He'd
it was
say.
the winter.
He gets his
Then
claws out.
yeah. Then the Winter Soldier shows up, and before they can attack, they all jump. And it's,
Does he
and
come with Hydra backup?
yep, he does. And Sakura, of course, will fight the Winter Soldier.
She might go Wonder Woman for that.
Yeah, and it's what kind of battle should it be? Should it be a tie?
How much power is she using as Wonder Woman? Is
A
because if
lot.
she's well, I'm pretty sure even then she'd still win.
Yeah, but he also has superhuman strength as well, and agility.
Sakura's got the power pretty much like God as Wonder
True.
Woman.
Yeah, true.
Since she can probably take a headbutt from her husband as Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Winter Soldier in his thoughts, like, this woman can fight, but I bet her husband is weak.
Joke's on you.
And then,
I can see it's like
he,
Bucky playing dirty.
yeah, he plays dirty and shoots at Natasha's shoulder, and then he runs away. And
You can see her like speeding over and blocking with her bracelet.
yeah. Now keep in mind, I'm doing the movie's ability
Yeah.
because I never read the comic. And then and, and they started, and Sakura started chasing him, and she tries to throw it, but she sees a then she sees Naruto. Naruto, I'm chasing the Winter Soldier, and then they wasted no time in chasing him, and then Cap throws a shield, and he catches it like he didn't.
That back. This yours? Not anymore.
Yeah, and should this be the part where he finds out it's Bucky, or wait till later?
Not yet.
Yeah.
The only thing he sees is like his eyes.
Yeah. And then he said, they look familiar.
Well, let's just hope Batman and Superman don't hear about this, and they'll never let you live it down.
Yeah.
They'll add a new part to your song.
Yeah. That was. The next scene is the Winter Red Skull saying, "Yes, that's it. Uncover their weaknesses." Who would play the Red Skull in this?
Liam O'Brien.
Okay. They said you'll be. Of course, Steve doesn't know he's alive yet.
Hmm. Did Baron Zemo show up too?
Yeah, they The,
I don't mean the guy from the MCU. I mean the actual one.
yeah, of course, they work for Red Skull, and
Okay.
they're part of the world government as well. But they don't
Ah,
wear.
Zemo. Hunting Cap again, are we, Schmidt?
Yes, I want you to
How's
take
that
care.
stock on your head? And the guy's like, who is this? An old associate of mine from the war.
It's not Hitler, is it? Because even I wouldn't work with Hitler.
See, Baron Helmut Zemo.
Yeah. And then he said, I want you to take care of Uzumaki. Who would be, I want you to take care of the cook. Actually, he would fight Sanji and Brook and Chomper.
Right?
Because that would be a big rivalry, wouldn't that would be a cool rivalry, wouldn't it? We see what Brook and Sanji usually do when while they're on duty. Look at women!
Yeah.
And Chopper's embarrassed. Look at what you got a mission to do. I'm sorry, we just can't. We women are our weakness.
Wait, are you having Pearson crossbones in this too?
Yes. In fact, what about Ross?
Like General Ross?
Yeah, or President Ross. No, let's not have him be president because
He's
it
not
was
going to turn a Red Hulk, is he?
no, but he is going to be just as hypocritical as he was in the MCU.
Ah,
Which who should it be? Well, William Hurt is dead, so it might as well be with Harrison Ford.
okay.
He said, "You know what? You look like that. You look like that Dr. Jones character." So, what?
I want.
Never mind. So you want us to get? So you want us to get back Rogers because he exposed you, didn't he? Or is it Naruto exposed him to be a fraud and had him disbarred from the army a couple years ago?
Okay.
Can you buy that happening too?
Yeah, probably. Think he probably. Yeah, I can see that. Guess he ran
Steve
for
or
government
Naruto?
after that.
Yeah,
Naruto.
of course. It all goes back to they're thinking of ways to kill him, and he invented and they invented a weapon that is so dangerous that is his only weakness. We call it kryptonite. Unfortunately, though, it's the only one, and if it's destroyed, then by wait, why did you what? Why did you ask the guy to create more? Because he's dead. You killed him. Remember, Akaido? Akaido killed him because he didn't like because he questioned his method, and for that, Okaido killed him.
Makes sense.
Anyway, we must use this on Uzumaki soon. Is it ready yet? Not yet. We still need to test it. Um. Meanwhile, back at the mall. They were doing their shtick, Sanji and Brook and Chomper. And then all of a sudden, they get confronted by Zemo. And and Brook says, "I have a hunch that this guy is evil."
What gave it away?
I don't know. The purple mask. And he said,
The way he's dressed mostly.
You must be Vince Vaughn Sanji. I've heard about you. Part of the Vince Vaughn family.
Don't say that name in front of me.
I could say whatever I want, Vince Vaughn. In fact, you were a fool. You were a fool to reject them. Just think about it. You have the most beautiful wife in the world, and
Advanced technology only those could dream of.
And Sanji said, "Forget it. I would never use those for power and corrupt. I may be a pirate, but even I have standards. Unlike other pirates, I care about it. I've served one man. His name is Monkey D. Luffy, and he's going to be king of the pirates." that foolish boy becoming king of the pirate? You're right. And Naruto Uzumaki has become Hokage, whatever that is. and Sanji smirked and said, actually, he may not be, but he's still a loyal. He's still a good man. He's a better man. He and Luffy are better men than you will ever. And let me guess, you're working with a Winter Soldier, aren't you? Guilty as Todd.
But do tell me where the captain is. I have a score to settle with him.
You mean which captain? Captain America or Luffy?
America, you fool!
Well, I'm not, and I don't know, and I'm not going to tell you where the ladies are either.
I don't give a damn about the ladies. Just where is Steve Rogers?
Why don't you kill me? If you try to kill us, maybe you'll tell. And then
Very tempting. Good idea.
And then they have an epic fight. You should fight pretty good. You fought as well as a man. Funny. I was about to say the same about you. And he fought with his hand. Zemo fought with his hands while Sanji fought with his feet. And Brook. What would Brook do?
Brook and Shower might take care of the Hydra soldiers there.
Yeah, they fought the Hydra soldiers. And he said, and Brook sings a song. Well,
guys, are we fighting a literal skeleton and a raccoon?
I'm a ranger! And he turned into a strong point.
God.
And he turned to a strong point. And Brook uses his fencing against one. Guess there's no skin on my bones. But I have no skin because I'm dead.
Or they say, what if I actually had any?
Then he sings a song and says, "Oh, that smell! Can't you smell that smell?" Then he Chopper says, "Ooh, I smell it too. What is that?" And they see it's a copy of the last. So,
Oh, This would make my eyes fall out of my head if I still had them. Choppers, don't look.
Yeah. Okay. And meanwhile, the battle. We go back to the battle between Sanji and Zemo. So I see that. I see that you still. I see. I heard rumors that you're over both Sakura and Nami. Yeah. Well, there are other women in the sea, including Robin and hopefully Natasha. What about Vivi? What about Princess Vivi?
Or
What?
Viola.
Then he sees a weakness and he punches Sanji and bashes. And then he throws
You
him.
make it too easy.
Yeah.
Your chivalry will wind up ending you, boy.
just just before he could strike him down, Sanji's feet suddenly turn into fire, and he
Oh, it's
uses.
the Diablo Jambe I've heard about.
Yep. And then he spins off, and then he spins down and kicks him repeatedly, and then he knocks down Zemo.
You see him getting away, but saying, "We'll meet again, Vince Smoke."
Yeah. um. Back at the girls. They search for the winning soldier, and then one of
Hey,
Hydra's.
use your nose.
Yeah. And they see Crossbones, one of Hydra's deadliest assassins. And no, it's not. He's not going to be underused like MCU. He's a threat. In the comics, did he have an accent or something?
I'm not sure.
I'll give him the same accent he does in the
But,
movie.
okay.
Then he said, "Allow me to," and Natasha said, "Remlo, Remlo, we meet again."
Still looking good. You dropped a building on me.
And she asks, "How did you survive that?" You'll never know.
I'll never tell.
And then he said, "Why don't we just? Why don't we?" And Sakura was about to fight, and Natasha said, "No, you girls find Red Skull. I'll deal with him."
I can see Carrot staying behind too.
Yeah, and it's a big bat, and then suddenly got turned to full moon, and
She went Sulong again.
yeah, and 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 she fought, and she scratches, and Crossbones were confused, but he still won't go down without because he is that. I'm making him that strong.
Yeah.
Then he said, "I know who," and then he says, I know who the winter soldier is," while fighting Natasha, and I would tell you. And then we see him in silent, and Natasha in her eyes. We don't, we don't hear it, but of course we know who it is. And we don't hear who it is, but some, it's someone that Natasha knows and widened her eyes. And then Crossbones disappeared. And Sakura asked, "Is there something wrong?" He said Red Skull's name. He said the Winter Soldier's name. It's... And then it cuts to Naruto, Luffy, and Steve looking for it. And then he doesn't seem about to jump on it. But Naruto notices and grabs him, and it's an epic fight. And they punch each other one-on-one. And Steve you
see both Naruto and Steve doing like a kick to him and sending him back against the wall.
Yeah.
Because he's fighting both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Steve even letting Naruto borrow his shield.
Yeah. And
Kind of like the Bucky and Steve fight versus Tony, but somewhat different.
Yeah, and Luffy joins and God, and again Bucky, and then the Winter Soldier takes Steve's shields and threw it at him, but Steve avoids it. Naruto then uses his fox to slash it back and forth, and then he grabs the Winter Soldier's mask, revealing his face, shocking Steve.
No, Bucky? It can't be. It's you.
Bucky?
Wait, who are you?
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
He gets Naruto off him and then flees.
Yeah.
And then taken in by Hydra.
Yeah, they all get captured by Hydra. And they get captured in a van. It was him. He looked at me and he didn't. But that doesn't make sense. You were frozen. It's been 70 years. How does he look young?
Zola must have did something to him.
Yeah. Then they go. Then they get locked in jail, and then they see that a computer. And he said, "Hello, Captain Zola. You are in my brain." Well, wait, what?
First connection. I'm Swiss.
Yep. I have
I
never
just
been
love
more...
that line he said.
Yeah.
You are in my brain. Okay. And I was like, okay.
And Luffy was all confused. and he tells the story of how Hydra came in the One Piece world and teamed up with the world government to eliminate all pirates.
So you're
And
saying that Hydra is within the government's ranks?
yes, and Naruto said, "Okay, that makes sense. That makes way too much sense."
And how did the Gorosei allow this?
They don't care.
Even though you must overstep your bounds.
Yes, and 30, and let me, you know the story of Nico Robin. It was
The Ohara tragedy? What do you have to do with that?
oh, I was there. We were there. One of our I was there in disguise. He said. We see a flashback of him looking at Robin
You're
being.
with Sniper Pole?
Yeah. We were all behind the tragedies that happened, including
The government said it was because the scholars knew too much about the Void Century.
Yeah. And Naruto said, so then Naruto grew angry and said, You're the reason
ruined one
Robin.
of my friends' lives.
I could get you.
Temper, young Uzumaki.
Then he said, You'll be the first to die. Then Red Skull comes in.
I can see Naruto saying, "Death can have me when it earns me."
That would be a great line. Oh, you'll be earning your death soon. We've invented a weapon that's so powerful that it'll be your only weakness. What do you mean?
Your one side's only weakness.
Then Red Skull comes in and says, "Prepare."
Greetings,
Hello.
Captain Uzumaki, and you, Uzumaki Schmidt.
You
It's
see,
been a long time here, Captain.
why don't you call me Red Skull? And I have something for Uzumaki. Oh, don't worry, we'll kill you too, but we want to kill him first.
He is clearly the stronger of you three.
Then Naruto said, "No, I'm not. Luffy's the strongest."
I beg to differ. With that new power of yours from that fruit,
What? Which one? The power to break the fourth wall?
his Superman one.
Yeah, I know. He was.
Oh, then there's no beating that. No, your other one.
You
The
mean
one
my
you
super?
call Superman?
Yeah, it's one of the special devil fruits. Only me and Sakura's eaten it, and they were the only ones created. Unfortunately for all of us, that the creator of the devil fruits died.
That we know.
Yes, but no
And
matter.
Dr. Vegapunk's gone into hiding, so
Yeah, and then he said, "You'll be sentenced to death right here and right now." Then he uses the kryptonite and uses it on Naruto. And causes him to suffer.
I'm feeling so weak.
Naruto. Then he says, "It'll stay here. It'll stay." They're in a jail, right in front of the jail cell. And then he said, "We're gonna."
Weak. Feeling really weak.
Then
What is this stuff?
It's called kryptonite. It
A
was
mineral from your new power's homeworld. Deadly to that species.
You'll pay for this. No, I
Look,
won't.
even with that, you can now bleed and be hurt. Then he shoots Naruto in the shoulder, showing he can bleed.
We see Naruto suffering, and Luffy was feeling distraught. No, Naruto, please don't die. I can't live up. He tries to.
I already lost Ace. I'm not gonna lose you.
He tries to look. He tries to break the the the, the cells, but they were made of sea prisms.
Yes, I can. What's with you, Luffy? These bars, they're made of sea prism. The Naruto and I are pretty much useless to you, Steve.
He said, "We will find the One Piece." Then they said, "Red Skull, Akainu wants you." Fine, we're ready to leave. It's not like you're gonna. It's not like
What,
someone's
you're gonna go and assume that my plan did the deed? What?
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke and say it's not like when we leave you, someone's gonna rescue you and gonna and we. Uh, Luffy looks up back at Naruto. Meanwhile, we see the girl. We see Sakura, Nami, and Natasha escape. Said, "We better call Naruto. Naruto, come in. Naruto. Naruto. Oh no, Daddy, Daddy." No response, and they're in trouble. Naruto would never not answer. He always answers, even when there's a, even when he's busy. And Nami says, "I don't like this. You think they could? You think they're hurt?" Normally I would say yes. Normally I would say no because of Naruto's powers, but I have this strange feeling that something terrible is happening. We better go find a way. And if only that we said, Dodger! We gotta find Dodger. He can find Naruto's scent. Yeah,
I
good
only
idea.
do Cena too.
Yeah, actually, Daddy, Mommy, I can smell it. Oh yeah, I forgot. Can you smell Daddy? Yes, follow my scent. And if all, then they reach up. Hey,
Follow your
bro.
nose.
Yeah. Follow my nose. I love Fruit Loops.
Yeah, follow my nose. So I think he's hanging around his father too much.
Yeah, but that's I wouldn't trade it any other way. Then they meet up with Brooke and say, Navi, Sakura. Ah, Natasha, you look not now. Naruto's in trouble. Naruto, Luffy, and Steve are in trouble. And then they make their way to the world. So they're in there in the prison. We gotta get in there, but how? And Natasha sees female bodyguards. I got a good idea. Then it's that scene where they beat them off screen and they put on disguises.
Mhm.
And she said, "Cheetah, you stay in here. I mean, you stay on. Where would Cheetah be since he's a kid?" And then
I don't
actually,
know.
I got a good one. He said, "What's this child doing?" It's bring your. This is my cousin's sister's nephew. Yeah, it's. And Nami says, yeah, it's bring your obscure relative to work day. Must have been you. I had to do that. It was for Monsters Inc.
Yeah, they want to see where the world government works and how it does. They even want to see the prisoners to mock
Hmm.
those bad men.
All right, we'll allow it. And then Nami bring
He's
your
gonna need to use his nose to find Naruto.
yeah. And then she said, another thing, bring your obscure relative to work day. I can't think of anything else. And she said, you could have said you were babysitting. I panicked, okay? Besides, it doesn't matter right now. We gotta find them. And she uses his nose. There's right over there. Then they move to the left, and then we see Stanley in a cameo as a Marine. It says, I think that looks familiar. Oh well. Then he went back to playing chess with Oda in his cameo.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, your move, Oda.
Said, ha. There's a well played. Thinks you're better than that Kishi fellow. Where is he, by the way?
Best not to think about it.
then they finally make it to prison. And Brooks point out, wait a minute. I hear then there's something wrong. What's that? I can see women's panties! And Sakura's knock it off. Then she's that's Naruto's screen. We better find the key. They found the key. It says require password. We gotta find a Pirate King access denied. She was thinking of too many passwords. It's not like, and Sheeta says, it's not like you say open sesame. Access granted. Huh?
What, really? Who made this password?
We see it was some kind. It was Peter Griffin in a cameo doing a flashback. Peter, you must say a simple password that only us know. Oh, okay. Open sesame, whatever. Then they finally reach the prison and they see Luffy, Naruto. Then Sakura was
like, get that green stuff out of here. No, wait. Don't need it to get this out of my shoulder.
And then Sakura wastes no time.
It's making you weak. Just, you need to do it just to get this out of my shoulder. Do it. What happened? Whatever this green thing is making me weaker. I can be hurt and bleed. Sakura, just please. Do it.
I could hear Josh Keaton's voice pleading that. It'd be his best voice acting.
Chopper, you and Sakura, just get it out, please. It hurts.
And Chopper and Sakura waste no time and destroys the kryptonite.
Well, they got the bullet out first, but then got rid of the kryptonite.
Yeah. And then Sakura heals him. Naruto, are you okay? Naruto, wake up! He was. Then she thought he was dead. Then she felt a pulse. Oh no. Then she pounds through his heart and then uses CPR. And the CPR scene looks like the one from 663 of Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah. The one where we thought Narasaka was going to happen after that.
Yes.
And then I can see Nami's crying. Then they hear Naruto, are you okay?
But I gotta get the sunlight.
Yeah. Then he goes, I see the light. Then he turns back at his own self and said,
Now I got the sunlight. I'm back to full power. With his Superman side.
Yeah. And then he said, hey, audience, it's good to you got your full powers back. Oh, I'm so
joy.
Then Sakura says, I'm glad. And Sakura saying it. And she said, Sheena was the one that found you. Really?
You found
Sheena.
me? Yep, I
Sheena.
followed your scent.
Yeah.
Thanks, little guy.
Yeah. And
And
Steve.
he hugs his dad.
And Natasha said, Steve, the Winter Soldiers. I know. It's Bucky Barnes.
But how did you? We ran into him before we were caught.
And then we have a flashback of Bucky Barnes. Natasha explaining who he is. He was one of the greatest soldiers in World War II. He helped
He's
Steve.
part of the Howling Commandos with Steve.
Yeah, and Peggy Carter.
But apparently during a mission he fell and was reported dead. Guess not.
They must have caught him and brainwashed him. And back to present science. I found out, guys. I found out what the what Hydra is planning. Look, that he reads the plan and that they're gonna shoot. They're gonna release weapons. They're gonna use guns to kill every person in the.
Who's a threat to them.
Yes,
Or will be a threat.
and that includes innocent children and widows and orphans.
How does he know to do that? Zola said Zola's algorithm.
Well, so how are we gonna stop it? And Naruto's, I think I have an idea. Guys, I got a plan. It's gonna. We're gonna have to stick at the world government again. Then they have go in disguise. Naruto is disguised as Naruto, of course, is transformed. Who did we transform into?
I don't know.
Would he transform into Okainu yet?
No. Pretty sure they see something's up.
Yeah. How about an old apprentice named Brock? How about Brock? He says Brock is back. Wait, how are you?
Do you have that suit still?
What?
Does he still? He asked him if he has the Venom suit still.
Yeah, I have it right here. It's a fake Venom. What is it? It's fake drawing of a Venom suit. And of course, they fall for it. And then it's, okay, Luffy, Cap, and I are in. What about you girls? Where are you? We're right. We see Red's. We're right in the world government, in the meeting between Akainu and Red Skull. Do you got the camera? Yes, I do. Luffy put and we got the bomb that's gonna destroy the weapons. We'll use the bomb and detonate it for 30 minutes before the timer. And then when the bomb detonates, it'll destroy the weapons, and we'll be out of there in a second. And Sanji points out, "What are the Winter Soldiers involved?" Then Steve said, "I have no choice but to fight my friend." He said,
She say, "If you get killed, walk it off."
"Yep." And then he's though the world government won't do anything to Akainu. They'll at least do something to Red, because we know Akainu will stab Red Skull in the back.
Yeah. Unless Akainu is ordered by the Gorosei to do it.
Yeah.
And technically by extension, Emu, too.
Yeah. And then and then make it, and then get past through the guards by fighting them, and then they get confronted by so and Naruto says, "I have found something that'll destroy you for good, Zola." What is that? That he puts a chip in, and it was a virus. It was some kind of computer virus that. Oh no! Well, it won't shut off the weapons. It does shut Zola off for good, killing him. So we should have done that in the first place. And then he asks. Then Luffy asks. "Hey, Cap, how do we tell for the good guys from the bad? If they're shooting at you, they're bad." Because I love that line from the Winter Soldier as they make it as they fly through the world headquarters, and then they realize, is it flying? And Luffy asks, "Oh, it's a helicarrier. They're gonna shoot the helicarrier. We gotta find them." Then they finally make it to the weapon, and they get confronted by Buckley, by Bucky. Bucky, people are gonna die. We can't let that happen. And Bucky doesn't listen. And he says, "You guys try to go for the weapons. I'll take care of Bucky." "Are you sure, Cap?" "Yes, no. Come on, Luffy." Then Luffy gets, and they both get confronted by.
Where are you going?
By Red Skull. Red Skull appears. I would have Naruto and Luffy fight Red Skull here.
Okay.
So Uzumaki, you destroyed my kryptonite. I should have figured it out. I should have known your wife would come here and save you. Just like she always does. Yeah, well, you underestimate her. She's probably the strongest female of the Straw Hats.
And smartest.
Yeah.
Well, next to Nami and Robin.
That's what Red Skull was going to say. I assumed that Nico Robin was going to be. When I take care of you, I will brainwash her to join the. I will brainwash
You'll
her.
make a good Hydra agent.
Is it? You stay away from Robin.
She's already been through enough because of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to you, her life was ruined, and we're gonna let her know that. Then Luffy asks, "Should we?" And Naruto said, "Yes, she has the right to know." And yes, it'll be connected to Wano. So, let me ask you before we fight, Red Skull. What do you know about Dr. Doom's plan in Wano? And he says, I know, he told me, but I'm not going to tell you. He just warned me that you're coming. And
Who's that? Doom.
yeah. And, and, and Red Skull and Luffy, and Naruto and Luffy fight Red Skull. And it's a battle of epic proportion. Meanwhile, um, back at the lower path of the record, they Nami and Sakura, Nami and Sanji and Sheena, and Brooke. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, back. Um, they, the girls and Sanji and Brooke and Sheena, um, get confronted by their enemies. Um, Zemo, Crossbones, and they invited one more enemy. Who, who should it be from Marvel that worked for the Hydra?
Good question. Crimson Dynamo?
Yeah,
Even though he's not really a Hydra person.
yeah, but we can make him one.
Or
Ooh,
he's just he's a hired guy for them.
Yeah. At first, then I thought of someone. Taskmaster.
You mean the actual one?
Yes, not the one not the one from the MCU. The one from Spider-Man video game.
They must
We're
have
gonna
paid
make
him a good amount.
yeah. It says, "Who are you?" My name is of no importance, but you could call me Taskmaster because you do tasks for the Hydra. It depends on who pays me.
Whoever pays me the most. Oh, you're a hired gun.
No, not really. I was just paid to kill you, Mrs. Hara, Mrs. Uzumaki. And and once I do, I may kill that little boy there. You stay away from my son. And Sheeta brings out his claws and no, Sheeta, don't. He runs. He runs to Taskmaster, but Taskmaster grabs it and pushes him into a wall. And, Sheeta! And Sucker runs up to her and Sheeta, are you okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. Let me. Listen, you stay here and heal. You're not experienced enough to fight. But
I can do it.
but you don't have. And he gives her a speech of he can do it. She may be 30, but his daddy taught him. Daddy taught me a lot of things how to fight. Please let me do it. Would Sakura let him after hearing that?
Probably, yeah.
And she said, "All right, we'll see what you." And the fight between Taskmaster and Sheena is probably going to be the most adorable fight ever. And and Sakura, who was Sakura fight? Sakura, Nami, and the Natasha will fight. Um, Crossbones again.
Okay.
And well, Sanji, Brook, and Chopper will fight Zemo. And the, then he said, Then he get punched by Nami. Uses her climb attack against him, and uses and you. Would she use Zeus?
Probably yes.
Yeah, and uses Zeus and gives him feeds him a cloud, feeds him lightning, and shoots lightning at him. And Sakura uses her one-on-one powers and pull Zemo, and she holds on to him and said, "No, Natasha!" And Natasha kicks him, and then she knocks him out, and she knocks him out cold, defeating the girls. Defeated Zemo. I mean, Crossbones. Meanwhile, Sanji, Brook, and Chomper were having their moment against Zemo. So you're pathetic, Vinsmoke. Stop calling me that.
Maybe use that raid suit you've got.
No, I could. Then he uses the veil shot against. He leaps to the air and swings his leg and performs and uses his and turns him into ashes and burns Zemo and Chomper uses his strongest attack called uses his monster point and Zemo recovered and tried to but Chomper blocks it and it's Brook, no, Sega. Then Brook sings a powerful medley down that got Zemo that made Zemo woozy, and then he falls asleep.
What is this? I'm mesmerized.
Yeah, and then Sanji kicks him, and on top of on Crossbones, and Sheena's battle with the Taskmaster. Unfortunately, it ended in a draw. He said, "For a 3-year-old, sure come in handy, but I don't want to. But I don't want to. I don't want to finish this fight because if I find out I either defeated or was defeated by a 3-year-old, my reputation will be ruined. But fear not, we will meet again." And he sends a quarter.
Next time you're older and more skilled.
Yeah, and then he leaves. And we're saving him for Egghead, okay?
Okay.
And they all. I wonder if Naruto stopped. Meanwhile, I kind of start the countdown. He is so excited to kill these innocent people. then and then um after during the battle um the battle against Red Skull, Naruto Red Skull was started punching Naruto, tried to punch Naruto, but Naruto's nice try. I'm strong, remember? Then he punches him, and then kicks him, and then he turns into then he transforms into to some to Rocky Balboa from Rocky 4 with the and then he says, "You're the best." Wait, wrong. Wait, wrong. What?
I was gonna say, just the music just starts playing.
Yeah. He punches.
He ends it like a Rocky match.
Yeah.
You punch it and punch it. You can't punch no more.
Yeah. And then he said, tune in sometime next month for the Rocky podcast. Which I'm thinking about either doing next week or the week after.
All right.
And meanwhile, was the battle, and Luffy asked, "What are you good?" The Naruto is. Then after the he said, "Go ahead, kill me." No, I won't do that. Me and Luffy we're not killers. However, I'm gonna send you to a faraway land that you'll never bother anybody again. Steven?
Hey, Strange. You go.
Yeah. He takes him to some kind of prison where he can never escape. Ever. Meaning I'm planning not to use him again.
Okay. Yeah, I have obscured. They only have forgotten One Piece Naruto characters.
Yeah. He's a.
Say hi to Hinata there for me.
And Sasuke. Then he said, and don't worry, folks, Sasuke will never be a villain in the One Piece universe because One Piece is too good for him.
Yeah. Plus, he's not really a threat to them anyway.
Yeah, we could just. We could just buff him, but their second fan in Kentucky hates him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh no, Steve! We gotta help Steve. Then we see Steve's fight with Bucky. And he uses his knife, but tries to use his knife, but Steve grabs it and says, drop it, and it's. And then I see the Naruto sees the screen and it says 30 seconds, and Naruto grabs and he uses it, and the soldier tries to stop it, but Naruto pushes the button in time for the weapons to stop. He said, millions of people are saved. And then after that, I believe it was when when he stopped fighting, and then Bucky says, "You're my." Then he says, "Don't do this, Bucky. I'm not gonna fight you. You're my friend." And he snarls and grabs Steve and punches him and says, "You're my mission." Then he takes off his helmet and says, "Then finish it, because I'm with you at the end of the line." Then Bucky starts having memories. And before he could fall down, Naruto grabs him and saves him.
Gotcha.
And then he said, "Don't worry, folks. We're not doing a Civil War thing." Then I hear explode. It's gonna explode. Let's get out of here. Then Naruto turns into a giant falcon, and Luffy and Steve with Steve holding Bucky and lands on him, and then they fly up and leave just in time, and they see his wife and Luffy's fiance and the others in the Golden Sunny. You made it just in time. But what about Akainu? He escaped with Alexander Pierce. Who's Alexander Pierce? And Steve said, "I'll explain for later." Now we got then Bucky wakes up and said, "Let get on the Fitzbump," and he said, "Steve, Bucky, is it really you? If it is, tell me
His
who's my
name
mom."
is Sarah. He tells himself only Steve would know, like from the Civil War movie.
Yeah,
Like, your mother's name was Sarah. You used to have papers in your shoes.
yeah. And he said, then he said, "What have I done? What have I done?" And he said, "What you did wasn't your fault, Buck. But join us. Be part of the Avengers of Shield, of the new part of Shield." After everything that's happened, Bucky, I'm basing it off of
It
Tommy.
sounds like Power Rangers when Tommy was freed.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Will you join us, Bucky? Then he says, "Yes. Thanks. Welcome to the Avengers." And
Just one thing, though. What's
What's
that,
that?
Buck? I have stuff in my head I should probably get taken out.
No problem. I know a guy to do it.
Certain the phrase or said it'll trigger my programming.
Yeah, they take him to Wakanda.
I guess Shuri's gonna do it because T'Challa's at the Reverie.
Yeah, yes. Of course, he calls.
Naruto would say, like, I know a place.
Yeah, and he goes.
He's been to Wakanda.
Yeah, he takes him to Wakanda there. And he says, "Thank you for letting me
welcome back, sort of. Oh, is the king here? No, my brother is at the Reverie. Why do you ask? Someone here needs your help, Shuri.
Yeah. And then he said, "Let me call my brother. Maybe he could talk." They call him on the transporter still, and he said, yes. Yeah, I approve. Yeah, he could stay here to keep his mind. We're good at these things." Thanks. And by the way, how's Vivi and Cheryl Oshie and Rebecca and everyone? They're doing fine. They often talk about you and your son.
And that son of yours, too.
And they're just humble brags and says, "Yeah, well, I do got the cutest kid."
Pretty soon it'll be 2.
Yeah. Listen. Then she's like, "Oh, I felt the baby kick." Oh, And Naruto says, "Oh, really?" Then he, Sheena, and Nami and Luffy feel. No. And then he said, "Hey, Cap, you want to come with us to Wano? We might need your help."
I mean, Tony and Thor and the others are probably on their way there.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we'll do it. Thank you. Then relax on they relax on the ship for a few minutes, and Steve tells them about his time at World War II, and then he asks, and, and he said, "Those flying monkeys. Remember those that when Fury mentioned flying monkeys, and and Thor was confused, and you said, I don't understand. I said, I do. I understand the reference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wizard of
What
Oz
about it?
reference.
Yeah. What about it? Uh, it was Wizard of Oz, right? Yeah. And have you seen? And of course, have you seen Star Wars yet, Steve? Yes,
I'm
I have.
working on it.
Well, good thing I brought. Well, I good thing I brought my DVD play, my TV, and with DVD player, we'll watch it. And they all watch Star Wars, and when they get to the famous twist, and Steve said, "Really? I did not see that coming." Yeah, it's Naruto said, "Next thing you'll know, Buzz Lightyear." No, 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 no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Why not? Let's just say it involved your your voice actor, and it ruined the movie. What? Never mind.
What?
And Soccer said, "Don't pay attention to them. He does this all the time. I never know what he means."
Uh-huh. Yeah. But she didn't think Steve was like so cool.
Yeah, he does. He said, "Tell me more about your story." And he said, "How about a story? All right, I'll tell you the story of how I knocked up Adolf Hitler over 100. You beat up Adolf Hitler? Wait, who's Adolf Hitler?"
You
Uh,
don't want to know.
yeah. And and then he says, "Oh, Steve, I just remembered something. Did you know a man named Henry Indiana Jones?"
Not really.
Well, they made a movie based off in this universe. Indiana Jones is based off of a true story, except for Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Because those movies don't exist. Well, I mean, made a movie based off of him and his adventures. We should watch those as well.
Yeah, don't think I've met him. Probably a different division than where I was at. I'm pretty sure
Right.
he was in the Indy was in the war. Because they
Yeah,
mentioned that in Crystal Skull.
yeah. And his son was died in Vietnam, but that's not canon.
Yep. Just sad he went out on a whimper. Like
Yeah,
Han.
yeah.
Ford just can't catch a break with his characters, can he?
No, I I don't remember what they said about his performance in Red Skull. I mean, in Captain America, but I don't think it'll
I'm
be good.
pretty sure he didn't care.
Yeah,
Your role just become big, green, and red.
yeah. The less we talk about that, the better.
So stupid.
Yep.
Hulk said.
And yeah, then then he said, "Wait, is that a skeleton? You just now noticed?" That's Naruto asked Steve. You just now noticed Brook is a skeleton?
How did that even? Well, long story short, I died, but my soul cannot find my body. I was drifting for 50 years till it actually made it back, and I was a pile of bones by that point. And what is that? I'm a reindeer.
And he said, okay.
Hey, you see our newest member? He's a fish man.
Yeah, yeah, he's very cool. Hope he's doing okay.
You'll probably meet him when we get to Wano. What is this Wano place?
It's a very long. It's gonna be a very long trip, says Naruto.
What was
I
it
mean,
like being overtaken?
but compared to the war arc, the pacing is better.
Yeah, it's a lot more entertaining too.
Yeah,
I think Naruto, Steve, long story short, it's the land of samurai.
samurai, huh? And Naruto said, "Oh, I can't wait to wear my samurai suit. I'm gonna look like Jack. Who's this Jack? You'll find out."
Yeah, will mommy give a samurai suit?
Maybe.
She would make a good samurai.
Yeah, she would.
What are you gonna be, little guy? I'm gonna be a ninja.
You mean like me?
A ninja.
Yeah. Let's hope you're a better ninja than me. No. Or we all know you'll be better than ninja than Sasuke.
Yep.
Then Steve asks, "Who's this Sasuke?" We're not telling you. He's not worth. He's Bucky done wrong.
Yeah.
In fact, he's probably the worst anti-hero ever.
Yeah.
Is he the worst character ever? Yes.
He's
yes,
up there. He's up there.
He's up there with some. He's up there with some Jedi. No, I'm not talking about. Yes, I am talking about. You know who, Rey.
Oh.
It's Rey. I'm talking. Here's what I think
I
the
thought you were
worst.
talking about Kylo.
Oh, I don't. Kylo is a Sith, but I can't tell who's worse, it's Kylo or Rey, because they're both awful.
Yeah, they are. But you even have Adam Driver coming out and saying how botched his character was.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him because he did his best.
He was one of the better actors of those three movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta know something you screwed up when your actors are pretty much going against you, saying you guys had no idea what you were doing.
Yep. And Daisy really, she was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't take her seriously as this tough Jedi warrior.
No.
Like, she never went to Dagobah. I remember Mark Hamill on those promotional tours for Last Jedi saying that.
Yeah. He was critical of the movie, Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
Yeah. And you know what was really disappointing? It had so much potential. Would you say the prequels had potential to be good?
Yes.
Yeah, if they had good writers and good directors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't blame the
I mean, if
actors.
you're just judging it off like production and visuals, they're good, but I feel like that's a backseat to the story and characters.
Yeah. I mean, the prequels had the CGI doesn't hold up, but the stories are still decent. I'd rather watch a good story with bad CGI than a bad, bad, bad story with good CGI.
Yeah.
And and next, we do want to. Of course, I'm gonna do Samurai Jack jokes. Of course, ninja jokes too. There'll be some Naruto jokes.
Do I really run like that?
Yeah. We'll have Naruto regret some of his actions in the movies.
Yeah. I wonder if Naruto make a joke to Steve about, so Cap, what did the Winter Soldier do when you threw your mighty shield?
I don't know.
So unless you're like, oh no. He's like, oh no, really? Unless you're playing or a bomb or some ice or brainwashed by then you essentially have to yield. I'm sorry, that gag never gets old.
Yeah. And then meanwhile back in what let's just say um um Dressrosa. Yeah, Dressrosa. Batman and Superman was reading the newspaper. So Naruto Naruto this is how it should have ended Batman and Superman 2. So Naruto and Sakura and the defeated Winter Soldier. Yeah. But of course Jameson will label them as monsters, like criminals, like he always does. Yeah, but no one takes them seriously anymore. Just like in the real world, nobody takes CNN and Fox News seriously anymore. True. Huh. But still, there are idiots that believe them. Um, and Nard, and they ask, "What about us? Do you think we'll ever?" And Superman asks, "Do you think we'll ever be not us, but or DC, but our serious count?" No, because because they're in a universe so far away that Strange can't get there.
I mean,
Not
are
to
you
mention,
sure he can go pretty much anywhere, I feel?
that's true, but Naruto fan Kentucky doesn't want to use DC characters. He wants to use Marvel. Is there any reason? You think DC characters are too OP? Is it brilliant?
Besides, he's already got Naruto Saga and their son as half DC characters anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true. Just to be clear, he will never turn this Naruto into the last Naruto, will he? No, he won't. He's not that stupid. And and then he said that he's they see some hot chick and said, "Hey, you want to know my secret identity?" Uh, that he's meanwhile at the villain's pub, he said, "So Red Skull failed again. We should have known that."
Well, like, you guys could have done better.
Well, yes, we could have brainwashed Naruto. I could have manipulated Naruto because I have that gut, says Palpatine. Naruto isn't as simple-minded as Anakin, though.
And what would you have done, Joker? Not really sure.
Wait, which Joker is this? The Ledger Joker or Hamill Joker or Nicholson Joker?
Whichever one is in the How It Should Have Ended pub.
Yeah, I know. It was Palpatine, not Palpatine. It was Voldemort that was questioning it. I wouldn't
have lost if that meddlesome wife and son of his didn't interfere.
Yeah, curse. Too bad we can't destroy. They're strong against us, but they're gonna have a tough time in Wano.
Why is that? Kaido is very, very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Doflamingo,
but still, they're still very cocky that Kaido will win.
I've heard he even has people that turn into dinosaurs.
Really? That imagine he turned either Straw Hat or Uzumaki into Godzilla, and said that's a scary thought. Wait, should we put Godzilla in a villain? No, he's not a villain.
No, he switched sides. He's not a true villain like us.
Yeah, of course there's some versions that he's villainous, but in others he's a good guy, and sometimes he's he's a sympathetic anti-hero.
So then Khan shows up like, Khan! Greetings, everyone. Yeah. So, what do you think the story odds are in Wano?
Yeah, we got a good idea with Zoro.
I feel they're going to beat Kaido.
Why don't we make bets? So we can't be part of the story, but we don't know what will happen. So why don't we make bets? I bet you that Naruto.
Bring out the Deadpool again, Palps.
Yes. I just love doing these jokes. They're so
Yeah,
fun.
it is. Oh, wait, we don't even know who all is even in Kaido's crew.
Yeah. What about that? What about Doom? What's he up? He's, do we know what he's up to? No, nobody knows his plan. Not even Kaido himself. And meanwhile, back at the Sunnies, Naruto was Sanji was cooking some food, and yeah, he talks to Cap. So what do you want? So what's your favorite food? I can cook up for. Can you make me a steak? I think Cap likes steaks.
Hmm.
I don't know what. Wait, hold on. Stew. He likes stew.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he gives Cap his favorites. So Naruto told me you had a date. Do you have a do you have a picture? And Steve said, "No, I'm not taking. No, I'm not giving you a picture. Why not? Because you go gaga over her. Oh, come on, I'm grown up. I don't go gaga on every woman I meet. Come on,
Plus,
trust
she's
me.
an old lady now, too.
Ugh, never mind." then then Naruto asked Steve, "Do you want to see her? What? Do you want to see Peggy Carter? I can take you to her." What would Steve say to that?
I don't know.
You think he would accept it or turn it down?
Good question.
I think he would accept it. He said, "I want to see her. I at least want to give her closure." Unlike in the MCU, he does not get married to Peggy here, but he does get closure to her.
We sure he didn't get married to her after he went back in time?
Yeah, I'm not including that. But she does mean have a husband though.
I know she did because she mentioned in that little reel they played
Yeah,
in
but
Winter Soldier.
it's a different guy. See,
Okay. Kingdom America.
and and then he takes her and he finally gives her closure. And she tells him, "I may have moved on, but I'll never forget our time with you. My time with you." And then he said, then he then it's revealed that she has Alzheimer's, and I don't know if Kat knows about Alzheimer's back then because it was a rare disease, I think, back then.
Hmm. Captain.
Yeah, and it's a very heartwarming scene too. And Steve said, Naruto said, "Come on, Steve, let's go." Thanks, Naruto. And then as they leave, he said, "Thanks, Naruto, for giving me closure. They're right. They say about you. You are the nicest guy. Thanks. I try to lead good example for my son. Well, he's being raised by a good father." And he slaps it on the back and thanks. And he joins Shinachu and Luffy. And he sees Luffy and Sheena playing together. And he said, Luffy's going to be a good dad, too. I just know. And he said, I'm going to help him be a good dad. Because that's who Naruto is. And then he said, how close are we to Wano? We're getting there. We're not going to go through the whirlpool yet, because we're going to use that and start in chapter 1 of our next Naruto One Piece podcast.
Did they at least get up the waterfall?
Yeah. He said, folks, we're going to end the story here. This is going to take a while. Lampshading before that it's going to be the longest arc in the history of One Piece.
Yep.
It's even longer than the war arc in Naruto, but it's better. At least it's
way
entertaining.
better.
At least it's fun and entertaining, and
has more epic moments in it.
And every Straw Hat has their moment. Well, it's the Naruto and Sasuke show in the war arc.
Yeah.
Which people were tired of, and
yep, they were.
Not tired of Naruto, but tired of Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke is the worst. He's the worst character ever.
Yep, he's just as bad as Peter Griffin.
Yeah. By Peter Griffin, you mean post-cancellation Peter Griffin.
Whatever, like, modern Peter is, where he became so awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that asked God to erase Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
I missed the Peter where he tells Meg, Meg, you're the man of the house now. When I heard that, it made me laugh when he told her that. And then he's Stewie, I'm not going to see you become a man. And he's, I know what that's going to be like. Then we see a picture of him being married rather than being a ruler. And then after that, oh yeah, so next week we'll probably do Kingdom Hearts 7OD, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna go back to Kingdom Hearts. After all, I am replaying KH2 right now, and I just finished the Lion King world.
Cool.
Which is probably my favorite Disney world.
Because
I like playing as Lion Sora.
Yeah.
They should make Simba's Pride in a sequel.
That'd be cool.
One of the most decent live Disney sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the best one? Probably not. Aladdin 3 is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it me or is Disney sequels with the with the third title is probably the best sequel out of, like, Cinderella 3 is better than 2.
I never saw those, so I don't know.
I don't know either, but they say Cinderella 3 is better than Cinderella 2.
Hmm.
Nostalgia Critics playing Resident Evil right now.
Which one?
I think Resident Evil 2, I believe.
Yeah, probably is playing the remake.
Yeah.
That's how you do a game remake.
Yeah. Do you think Kingdom Hearts needs a remake?
At least update the gameplay.
Yeah. Would you like to see a remake like a graphical remake? Or
I'd
the
like to
graphics?
see some updated graphics.
I agree. I'll be right back.
All right.
I would also like to see Sonic Adventure remade,
Hmm.
but bring back the voice actors. My opinion, the best voice actor. The Adventure era voice acting is the best Sonic voice of the games. Never was a fan of the 4Kids voice actors.
Nope.
Like Griffith voices, I thought his voice, just Sonic, sounded nasally and not good. And you know, in about a month after my birthday, my niece turns 12. Where's the
Wow.
time go? Where's the time go? Pretty soon
Yeah.
next year she'll be a teenager.
Oh.
Boys are gonna go after her,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll leave that to his dad, or her dad. I mean, are there any movies coming soon, like in the summer that are interesting? Oh yeah, Fantastic Four.
Mission Impossible, Superman, and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm planning to take my mom to see Mission Impossible movie because it's the last one with Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt, I believe.
Are we sure? Like, is this actually confirmed?
I have no idea.
Because you know when it says final, it's never final.
Yeah.
Because
And usually
Zootopia
when
doesn't
they
come out till November.
what?
Zootopia doesn't come out till November.
Have they made a trailer for that yet?
I think there was a teaser.
Yeah. I think I heard rumors that there's gonna be a teasered Spider-Man next Spider-Man movie.
Hmm.
Next Spider-Verse movie.
I'm still waiting on that because I still want to know what happens at the end of the after that.
Yeah, is that the last Spider-Verse movie?
I think so.
Yep, I'll be 38 by the time that movie comes.
I think I'll be 34, 35 when that happens.
Yeah. I can't believe we are getting old.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't feel old because I feel
I
like if I
do.
want, yeah, I mean physically I feel old, but mentally I don't. Yeah. Because if I feel that old, that I
Oh, Jason Garrett went 85 and 67. Really?
what?
Jason Garrett's win loss was 85-67.
Yeah, yeah, but he didn't win the big one. That was the problem.
Well,
I
Lombardi at 96-34.
McCarthy.
No, Lombardi. And
Yeah,
Madden was 103 to 32.
Madden had the great. Madden's in the Hall of Fame, not because of his announcing, but because of his coaching. Well, his announcing was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
You watching the
broadcasters,
draft lately?
not much. I asked Lucky, what does he think of the new guy? And he hasn't responded. The guy we drafted, and he hasn't responded. What about you? Do you like the guy you drafted?
I'm gonna I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see what Vrabel's gonna do.
Yeah. How do you think Bill Belichick will do at North Carolina?
I don't know. Well, Dungy's
Well,
got more wins than Garrett and Bill Cowher.
yeah. My brother-in-law misses Bill Cowher. He does not like Mike Tomlin.
Really?
Yeah, because he keeps losing in the big one, and
Tomlin's only won like one Super Bowl.
yeah,
Now, Coughlin's got a higher record too. Damn. And
Tom.
Pete Carroll. Wow. Sean Payton's got a high one. John
I would
Harbaugh.
love. Sean Payton sure improved the Broncos. They were terrible for
Once they
years
got
after.
rid of Wilson, they did. McCarthy's got a high win loss, and Tomlin too.
Yeah, it's all about the playoffs. Sometimes if they don't win playoffs, you fire them.
Andy Reid. Wow. Oh, Belichick was 302 to 165.
Yeah, he was this close to being the winningest coach in pro football.
Hmm.
Don Shula was the number one.
Yeah.
course, my favorite coach is Tom Land. Actually, Jimmy Johnson, or both.
You believe YouTube is 20 years old now?
I saw that. I was like, damn, I'm getting old.
2005 was such a different time.
Yeah, I remember I watched the Kingdom Hearts Simple and Clean video. That was the first video I watched on YouTube.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be 20 years old too.
I know. And I'm playing it right now. Are you gonna replay it soon?
I'm going to try to do it this year. I already platinumed it, so. Which I am proud of that because that was one game I wanted to platinum.
Yeah,
That is one of my favorite games of all time.
Is it your favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
yeah,
it's like
mine
my
too.
fourth favorite game of all time.
What's your favorite game of all time?
My number one favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay, I might play that sometime. Do I need to play the other two first?
It's real. 3 is basically a prequel to the whole series.
Oh. The voice of Kakashi is the voice of Solid Snake, right?
No, he's not.
Then who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of somebody else because Dave Hayter plays Snake.
Right.
Though he was Captain America in the 90s Spider-Man show.
Yeah. You know, voice actors don't get credit they deserve.
I know.
That's why I love those old Disney movies. The voice actors, they give their best, while sometimes celebrities just phone it in.
Yeah, surprisingly they got Colleen to do Tales for the Sonic movies.
Yeah,
The only one they could get to come back as their character.
Yeah. Do you wish Travis Willingham voiced Knuckles?
I don't know. I think Idris makes it his own here, but I kind of wish they got Roger to be Sonic.
Yeah. I wish they got
So I
Ryan.
prefer Keanu as Shadow.
Yeah. Of course, Ryan Drummond is my favorite Sonic voice.
Yeah, Keanu really did make Shadow a great character.
Yeah, he made the movie.
I do like that when he just tried to bait Sonic out with mentioning Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was his name? Tom.
And I love how they handled Maria's death.
Yeah. And show how it affected Shadow, too.
Yeah. I might work on my fic over this week. I'm thinking about either making it short or finishing the arc, the Drum Island arc. I'm not sure yet, but I am gonna use Naruto using his fourth wall powers and doing the bye 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 song. I can't wait. That movie inspired me to do that. In fact, it inspired me to do a lot of things to do with Naruto. You know what kind of ship Miles with Gwen in Spider Verse?
Yeah.
Of course, the best Spider-Man ship is Spider and Mary Jane, and it depends on which version, though.
Yeah.
I think some people say the Raimi ones were botched, but I thought they were okay.
They're okay for what they were.
Yeah, I thought
Apparently,
they.
I'm just glad they gave one of the Peters that actually made him happy with Mary Jane.
Yeah, me too. I just
Since the
retrospect.
comics won't ever let it happen.
Yeah, and retrospect. Greg is doing a video on Spider-Man 2 soon.
Cool.
He did. I saw one of his Spider-Man one a couple days ago. He says he's waiting for. I remember him saying he's waiting for a good Superman game, and
That's never gonna happen.
because he's too overpowered.
Yeah.
The only way you can make a good Superman game is a fighting game.
Because you all know what happened with Superman 64.
That is the worst game I personally has played.
Flying through rings.
And pick up cars.
Yeah, not messing around this time.
You could do stuff with Batman and Superman, and Spider-Man and the X-Men and the Avengers, but Superman is too OP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're gonna make a new Godzilla video game soon.
Oh, great.
I hope it's a fighting game.
Ugh.
You know, someday I might play some of the X-Men games. Have you played any one of them?
Last X-Men game I played was that Wolverine tie-in.
You mean, well, Wolverine Revenge?
No, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Is it bet? Is
The
it?
game that's better than the movie.
What if that was the movie?
That would be awesome, considering how brutal that game is.
Yeah. Was Deadpool in the game?
He's the final boss.
Is it the same Deadpool as the movie though?
No, Weapon 11. Weapon 11 is the final boss.
I just hated how that movie ruined Deadpool. Thankfully, Ryan Reynolds saved it.
Yeah. Don't you? It's just me.
that was probably my favorite part
I think that's
Deadpool.
probably my favorite scene of that whole movie because I did not care for the second Deadpool movie.
It's my least favorite of the trilogy, but I still like it.
I feel you waste so much time on Russell.
Yeah, well, I mean, why would he want to save uh, an annoying kid?
Plus, you really wasted Cable in the movie too.
How would you have fixed it? Just have Cable go back to.
I don't know how I'd fix it with Cable.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised at Deadpool 3 they didn't take a shot at that Wolverine Origins Deadpool.
So we had cameos galore in that movie, so
It was that's how you do cameos right. Something Doctor Strange 2 failed to do.
yeah.
I
Plus,
still
you
haven't
just
seen.
let Chris Evans say the most random, obscene stuff anyway.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he did that movie.
yeah. Of course, what really made the movie was Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds' chemistry.
Yeah. Especially in that car scene.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to do with to Naruto.
Yeah, because it is pretty much a deconstruction of Naruto to a T.
Yep.
Plus, the fight itself was pretty cool too, between them.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that movie sometime
I just
in
love the
May.
music choices they have for the fight scenes. I'm like, it's just so weird.
Yeah. Weird but funny.
You think he just got Nice Pool killed just to get his 2 golden guns?
Yeah.
Every one of us has a Peter Pool.
Of course, the best part of the movie was when Wolverine puts on his mask and
Yeah.
becomes.
Took him the whole movie just to put the cowl on.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
The
Well, another
best
scene
part
I
is,
like is another scene I liked is where he was telling Laura what happened to his world.
yeah,
Because it made the suit mean more.
you did. I forget. Did he find out what happened to what happened to him and Logan?
I don't pretty I think Wade told them. Or the
Yeah,
TVA did.
yeah. I wonder how he would feel about that.
Or how that Deadpool used his corpse as a weapon.
Do you think he would tell him that?
Pretty sure he would find that out.
Yeah.
No, I'm more questioning why he's with Thor and Thor's crying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if that was me, I would make a joke that he's crying because Thor Dark World sucked. And so did Love and Thunder.
That might be why I'm crying now.
We'll talk for a few minutes, then we'll end it, okay?
Okay.
I just looked at Chris Hemsworth wiki, and he's gonna be in Doomsday.
I read a rumor they're trying to give him a proper send off.
Yeah. Do you think they'll kill him off?
Probably.
Chris Evans says he will never play as Captain America again. And I think
Yeah, right.
they say it, but then
I mean, RDJ came back because of all the money they offered him.
I think he'll come back just as not as Captain America.
He'll be Captain Hydra.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't ruin Captain Hydra ruin Captain America.
Yep, it was so stupid.
Yep. Just like Marvel Comics in a nutshell nowadays.
Yep.
They ruin a lot of things.
Ruining Mary Jane.
Yeah, they're trying to get her to Venom.
I saw.
What?
Yeah, it's causing a storm online. Considering that Mary Jane would never do that.
Yeah.
Given all the stuff Venom put her and Peter through.
Yeah, I agree, and I guess they don't like Marvel hates Mary Jane, and it's Stan Lee's rolling over his grave.
Yeah. I don't get why they hate her or her and Peter together.
Yeah. I wonder how he felt about One More Day.
Good question. I bet he loathes it.
So he said, "What is that shit?" And next thing you know,
What is this?
next thing you know, there's a story about a boy who fell in love with the girl from a dream, and he pretended to love this other girl because of a rivalry with this asshole.
Give it another 7 years.
But who would actually be stupid enough to write that?
You see, 7 years later, that came true.
Yeah.
Like, I was just joking about this.
How would he feel about Kichimoto?
Who is this hack?
What about Oda?
He'd praise Oda.
Yeah. Do you think he knew
You, sir, are a good writer.
Do you think I don't know if he was friends with Toriyama. Do you think he ever met Toriyama?
Who, Stan Lee?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Toriyama was the Stan Lee of manga.
Yeah. At least of battle shonens.
Yeah. The part I can't wait to go to Wanda is when we do the like a prayer scene.
I don't know, with Zoro, Doom, and King.
Yeah.
Doom.
His name is Doom.
His name is Doom. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna feel like Doomsday because it feels like we're getting a bunch of B-list heroes in the movie.
Yeah. You know, they used to be fair. Iron Man used to be a B-list hero.
Yeah, but compared to who we have current in our current lineup, I wonder if they're gonna have the X-Men wear their actual comic accurate outfits.
Yeah,
Like, is James Marsden gonna wear the Cyclops outfit?
I hope so. I hope it's all worth it just for that. I think they should wear comic. I think they should wear comic based
Because they made
outfit.
because Wolverine proved it could work.
Yeah. You want us to? What do you want us to do? Wear yellow spandex? Yes. And
Yes. I don't know if Anna Paquin could pull off the yellow-green suit Rogue wears.
yeah, it has to be a hotter actress.
Yeah, that can actually do a Southern accent.
Yeah, is she from Kentucky? Rogue.
I don't think she's further south.
That disappoints me because it would have been so awesome to see a superhero from Kentucky. I just like to see.
I wonder if we're going to see Professor X get killed for a fourth time.
Yeah.
I wonder what they do to get Patrick Stewart to agree to this each time.
Money.
They must pay him good if he's willing to come back each time to just to die.
Yeah. And did I hear that Ian McKellen is coming back as Magneto?
Yep. Alan Cummings is even coming back as Nightcrawler.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool.
That's a shock because I hear he hated being in this makeup.
Really. I remember
Him and
Alan
Rebecca
Cummings.
Romaine are coming back too.
Who?
Rebecca Romaine as Mystique.
What about Jennifer Lawrence? Is she coming back?
I don't think so. The only thing I like Rebecca as Mystique better, even if she was underused.
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is from Kentucky, but she's a Louisville fan, so I don't. So that gives her points off of her hotness.
I can't wait to do the more Halloween ones this year.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Especially when we do. Although I'm still wondering how we're gonna do romance in them. We always
We'll
add
find a way.
Yeah, we do. And
I
the
kind of want to do Halloween this year.
Yeah, we'll do Halloween with Michael Myers.
Could this be like normal Naruto and Sakura or like ninja Naruto and Sakura?
Normal.
Okay.
I want normal. And spoilers, they'll be the only ones to survive.
Well, that man Loomis.
Yeah, them too.
So Naruto might get wounded a bit.
Yeah, that'll probably happen.
considering Michael is gonna get away at the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
All right. Good to see you.
All right, see you next week.
Okay, bye.